that I have to do anything about what's in it, and it's really a joy. But I do think and reflect from time to time on the challenges that we faced over the last 8 years, challenges that will, I think, continue for many generations, because they are indeed generational challenges. They're not the kind of challenges that will be solved by 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 administrations. But the United States of America has done that kind of work before. We were the country after World War II, essentially left standing to reflect the values of the free world and to protect and defend freedom against the scourge of communism. And because we stayed steadfast over that period of more than 40 years, resisting Soviet power and resisting the lure of the ideas of communism, I was fortunate enough in 1989 to 1991, the last time that I was in government, to be the White House Soviet specialist at the end of the Cold War. And frankly, it doesn't get much better than that. I got a chance to be a part of the liberation of Eastern Europe. I got to be able to see the unification of Germany completely on Western terms and to see the peaceful collapse of the Soviet Union. But I recognized that, in fact, I was just harvesting good decisions that had been taken over the years before. Because if you go back to the time immediately after World War II, those of you who are students of history or politics will know that in 1946, the Italian communists won 48% of the vote and the French communists 46% of the vote. The question wasn't, would Eastern Europe be communist? The question was, would Western Europe be communist? And in 1947, 2 million Europeans were still starving, necessitating the Marshall Plan. In 1947, civil war broke out in Greece and civil conflict in Turkey. In 1948, the Berlin crisis split Germany for what we thought was a permanent split. Harry Truman recognized Israel setting off war effectively in the Middle East. Czechoslovakia fell to a communist coup. In 1949, the Soviet Union exploded a nuclear weapon 5 years ahead of schedule. The Chinese communists won. And in 1950, the Korean War broke out. And yet, we stayed steadfast as a country, determined to lead from our values, and indeed, in sustaining freedom in Europe and in Asia, we were able, at the end of the Cold War, to see the triumph of democracy and freedom. Now, the challenges that we face today are different. I can tell you that to stand in my White House office on September 11th and be brought a note first that a plane had hit the World Trade Center, and I thought to myself, oh, that's a terrible accident. And then I got the second note that a second plane had hit the World Trade Center. And I thought, my God, this is a terrorist attack. And I was trying to gather the national security principles, but I couldn't find the Secretary of Defense, and I looked back and a plane had hit the Pentagon. And all of a sudden, it was very clear that our country was under attack from something vicious, something hateful, and something determined not just to terrorize us, but to bring us down. And the challenge since then has been to respond to those circumstances in a way that protects our homeland, that makes the world a better place, and that is consistent with our values. That challenge is going to be before us for a long time to come. The terrorists try every day to pull off that event yet again. It's not for lack of trying. I can tell you that I am grateful. I will not say proud, I say grateful that there was not another attack during the time that we were in office.